Unit 2, Too much traffic. Many of the problems which face governments nowadays are international ones. Take traffic, for example. All the major cities of the world are having to try to find ways of dealing with too many vehicles and the congested roads which they cause. A large number of the vehicles which clog our cities are private cars. Motorists are very reluctant to leave their precious cars behind and go to work on public transport, despite the constant traffic jams. They regard buses, trams and trains as being for other people, while they themselves like to drive from door to door. Thus, our roads are chock-a-block with traffic. Of course, parking space is not always available. Some firms provide car parks or garages, or at least some of their employees can leave their cars. Most people, however, have to rely on public car parks, often multi-story ones, or else try to park in the street. Since this is usually highly restricted, with many parking meters and evidence, parking is a source of frustration to many motorists. People who are otherwise quite law-abiding are apt to take a bit of a risk when it comes to traffic offenses. Thus, they ignore both signs that say "No parking" and lines painted down the edge of the road which indicate parking restrictions. Should they be away from their cars for longer than the amount of time allowed by the parking meter, they are not worried until they see that the traffic warden has left a parking ticket on their windscreen, and realize that they will have to pay a fine. The authorities in more and more cities are trying to keep cars out of the city center. With this aim, they have pedestrianized large areas and introduced park-and-ride schemes so that people will leave their cars at the city boundary and complete their journey by bus. Still, there are fears that ever-increasing traffic will cause gridlock in cities, particularly at rush hours. With so many tailbacks and bottlenecks on so many roads, motoring is no longer a pleasure. Why, then, do so many of us persist in using our cars?